Hey, what's up? It's Abe. So this video is going to be a slower breakdown of Cherry Wine by Hozier. This video has been requested many times. Thank you for your patience. In this video, I'm going to break it down a little bit more slowly, how I arranged it. Okay, so let's get started. Alright, so first thing you need to know, most important thing, is top string is going to have to be a low G but dropped to F. So it is F, C, E, and A. So the top one's the only one that's dropped. And yeah, I'm gonna go through it a little bit. The trickiest part is actually putting the melody and the pulse together, right? So your thumb the whole time is going to be playing the third string, and eventually it's going to drop to the F, which is of course normally a G, but in this case it's an F, and then it's going to go back. And the melody is going to go over that, and it's really tricky to put them together to get the timing right, but once you have the melody, it's just a matter of playing it slowly enough to get it. So let's play the melody. I'll play it first, and then I'll go more slowly through it. So melody by itself without the pulse is like this. Okay, so there's a lot going on there. As you may have noticed, you do need a 17th fret, okay? So this is 15, and you go up to the 17th. A lot of the things I'm doing is just hammer-ons and pull-offs and slides. But let's go through that a little bit at a time. So right here, da, 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 I usually just pick those. Da, 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 da. So that's 12, 10, 12, 15, 17. And then here's the first hammer on. I go to 5 to 7. Right? Da, da, and then this part's a little tricky. Da. So that is a pull off. And I slide really quickly to 3. So 7, 5, and 3. And then you add this part right there. That's really just a hammer off, A to the 3rd fret, and then really quick. This is a hammer on and a pull off. Alright, so this takes a little bit of strength. This is good practice to just, just try plucking the string. But also, you really want to be able to hit it right, square in the frets. If you go too weakly, it's going to be, kind of like that. The sound will stop, and that's no good. You don't want it to stop, so you got to hit it hard. Don't don't strain yourself. Don't pull your finger. With the right setup, if your strings are a good height, it's really just about the right amount of pressure. So, in case you don't know, I didn't really explain this before. A pull off or a hammer on, you start with the right hand, okay, and it picks the string, and then your left hand is going to be hitting afterwards, right? So you see my thumb is, and then I'm hitting, okay? Right, so, da-na-na, that part. My thumb is picking it once. Right? Does that make sense? Right, so that's the part right after that. Dun, 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 and that's a hammer on too. Right? As you can see in the tabs, this is about measure 10 and measure, I can't count, 4, 5, 6, yeah, right, it's 2 16th notes and 8th note, 3, 5, 3, right, so this is going to take a lot of, extra energy with your first and your third fingers. Alright, so, I'll go through that slowly again. This is just the the opening part. And I don't know if I don't think I talked about this slide. This is pretty tricky, right? If you really want, you could do it like this and do 2 pull-offs, but to me that feels a little weird with your pinky on 7, or you know, if you could do it like this. What I'm doing there, just to be clear, and I'm sorry if I already explained this, this is a pull-off and then you're sliding, and the thumb is only picking it once. And then after, the whole thing happens. Da, da. And the way the slide happens is you pick the note on 5, and then you just have to you just gotta go there. That's all. You just, right? You keep the pressure, okay? You don't let go and bring your finger up, right? You gotta hold it. If you go too far, it's gonna, you know, if you don't go far enough, if you stop on the fret, you know, it's not gonna work. So in that part, you gotta go, just go. Sorry, I can't be more clear. Make sure your thumb, you know, the thumb is, you know, I like to leave it right in between the 4th fret. The thumb on your left hand, I mean. Da, da, right, so when this slide happens, it's right here. Can you see my thumb? Yeah. That way I have an anchor for sliding back, right? Anyway, so there's that section. Let's move on, shall we? This part is probably the easiest because it goes nice and slow. After that whole part, you know, ba, 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 ba. Did I talk about this part? I don't know if I did. That's pretty straightforward. This is one of the hardest parts, I think, for me, to line up with the pulse. But you know, you just break it down. If you're looking at the tabs, you can kind of see how the notes line up. This is measure 15, yeah. Something like that. It's easier for me now to play it faster, funny enough. But I had to play this part so dang slow. By itself, measure 15, it's pretty easy. Dun, 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 dun. And you'll see in between each one, I usually do not slide between the two. Like that, no. The only time I really slide is that part. The slide that I'm talking about. I don't know if this has a name, but anyway. Let's keep going. Dun, 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 dun. And most of the time here, I'm playing a lot of these notes with my thumb. You really should be practicing with your finger, because your thumb, like I said before, is going to be hitting this pulse. So one of these other fingers, one of these 4, is going to be playing the A string, okay? I basically never use this, the 2nd string, but it does come up. So usually I tend to use my 2nd finger. Yeah, this one, the middle finger. Oops. Alright, let's keep going. So this is the verse. Like I said, try to get the melody in your fingers first before you try and put them together like this. I think this part is actually pretty easy compared to the rest of it. So, as you can see right there at the end, there's a tiny little hammer. But anyway, let's go through that real slowly. 10, 5, 7, 10, 5, 7, 10, 5, 7, 10, and then you go to 3, and then 8, 8, 7, 8, 7. I can't think of the words right now, but yeah, it's pretty straightforward, this part. Remember, try to practice with one of these fingers. I'm just playing with the thumb, so it's really clear. oops, 10, 5, 7, 10, 5, 7, 10, 5, 7, 10. Really straightforward. Then da, 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 da. You could do it with your pinky like I did before. And then that part is a little bit tricky because it's really hard to get a good pull off when it's one fret away, right? So it's, you know, da 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 da. So sometimes I'll actually pick it da 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 da. But the second one after the 8 to 7, usually I'll just do it because even if the second note, I don't know if you can tell, but the second note is just a little bit quieter, right? That's okay in this case. It's the end of a phrase, the song is dying out. So the other thing about that phrase, the verse, when you get to the 3 here, you'll notice when I played it, right, it maybe wasn't clear. You're going to the 4th fret on the F string, which is the G, also the 4th string. That little melody is going to be accompanied by F. And then right here, this is actually A minor. So remember, you dropped this to F. It's not G anymore. So this is not A, in case you're thinking, what the heck are you talking about? This is A now. And in the song, it's an A. So, so right there, the 4th fret on the F string. And then you have 3 on the 1st string on A. Yeah, there you go. So, so right there you could see somehow I did that way. I just did a little slide. However you do it, it's not really that important. Just most important thing is, get the melody in your fingers first. Or or right? So as long as you know where the notes are. All right, shall we continue? So the verse, that actually happens twice. The same thing just repeats. And then you get to the pre-chorus where he's like, she wasn't, but it's clean. That kind of part. You're gonna play an F, which is now just one finger. Pretty cool, huh? You don't have to do this because if you do that, it'll sound a little weird. Because remember, this is drop down. Dun, 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 and then you go 4, 1. So 4, it's easiest with the pinky, right? And then F, right? Dun, dun, then you're already there for the next chord. Bum, that's clean. Right? 4 on the 4th string and 1 on the 2nd string. Dun, dun, F, so. And then you're going to... This is kind of the weird part, so sorry. So the dun dun boom boom. This happens 2 times, and then what I like to do is dun dun dun. I throw in this. Where is it? So this is A minor. Okay, that happens right after that 3rd repeat of that section. Okay, and it's just one finger, okay? Usually I'll put my pinky there, but, with the camera. And obviously like this. Watch out. The other strings aren't going to ring, okay? So, I'm starting to punch the camera. Sorry. Here we go. So, excuse me. And then you're going to play. That's a D minor. So in this case, it's not this. Remember, the A is going to be up here. So, I usually will play it with my pinky here, and then 2 on 3rd string, which is D, and then 1 on F. So, you know what I'm talking about, right? I can't think of the words right now. I'm sorry. I want it, but it's a crime. I'm not around those to the time. I'm not getting the timing right. I'm sorry. Kind of messing this up. But anyway, you know now what the chords are, okay? If you see a chord chart, you'll see the same things. This is F, in this tuning with these tabs. This is A minor, fourth fret. Oh my God, fourth fret. Play it with third finger or pinky, so you have the reach for the D minor, which comes after 1, 2, and a pinky. Or if you can do it third, I can't do it. Maybe I can. Well, there we go. And then I'll put a D up here. Oh shoot! I got a new chord. Yeah. Thanks for taking part in this new discovery. That's a D minor, something special. Anyway, so you get back to the chorus, and I usually like to play the chorus a little bit more simply than the intro, and I'll show you which part is different. But mostly it's the same as before. Did you hear it? Where the difference is? Same melody, 10, 12, 10, 15, 17, 5, 7. And then I don't do the... I'm pretty sure he doesn't do it in the chorus, but that's the only difference there, really, if you wanted to do that part. But at that point, I personally want to focus on singing and, not... what do you call it? I want to make the song, a little bit more special. So during the intro when I'm not singing, I'll do that. Right? This is probably the hardest part, physically speaking, for your fingers in this song. So once you're singing the chorus, it's really nice to just not worry about. Yeah, you can just focus on that. Just, don't hit the F, right? Just keep your thumb. Okay, so that is... What else is it? There's a weird chord in my tab. I don't know what happened here, but there's something missing, and that is yeah, this is weird. I actually never tabbed the intro or the bridge, Yeah, I never actually tabbed it, I think. Anyway, I can go over that part. I think it's the only part that's left. Like I said, the intro is the chorus minus that part. So the bridge, what I like to do is I play a little piece of that D minor chord. Remember the D minor chord I showed you? 4 up here, then 2, and then this? What I like to do is I just play these two, this part, the second and third string, and I hammer on this one, like like this. So it's like, and that's G. And that's da da. That's third string, second string, and then I go to C, and then I play that little piece of the intro and the chorus that Yeah, that's where it goes. And then you do the same thing again. Da-na. And I'm just just playing these two, right? This third string is just keeping that pulse that I talked about, that your thumb is always playing. Da-na, to G, then to F, and then a little hammer on da da na, D E. So third string, second string, then C, then the little riff. Yeah, so I think that's everything in the song. Oh my God, I hope I did not forget anything. The last thing you really have to do is put the thumb in there, the pulsing thumb. This one. And I kind of messed up there, but just play it real slowly and just listen to yourself really carefully. That's how I did it. This was honestly the hardest part. The strength for this thing, like I said before, that requires the most strength for me. And putting the whole thing together, probably the hardest thing was actually, just the timing of that. It's really tough for me to break that part down, other than just make sure you're really listening to it and playing it slowly and being deliberate and just hearing the song in your head. There are tools online that can help you actually take the original song and slow it down so you can really hear it. But, kind of like this. Just focusing on the pulse and then trying it. Sometimes it lines up, right? You play both of them at the same time. The thumb is constantly going, and the finger is what's changing the rhythm. So that's what makes it really weird. You can tell right here it goes a 7. It lines up with it. They play at the same time. And when you look at the tabs, it's actually easier to see where they line up. Because I think they do a pretty good job of, not they, it's me. I think I do a pretty good job of getting it to line up, but I might be wrong. I don't know. I hope it makes sense. Let me see. Let me take a look. Da, 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 da. Oh, yeah. So if you're looking at the tabs, it does help. There's the 12, 10, 7 lines up. And I add little grace notes here and there, so the tab isn't exactly as I'm playing. Yeah. Anyway, I hope that was helpful. Thank you so much for watching and being patient with me. Please let me know if you have any questions, if I could break something down a little more slowly. Remember, the tabs are free. They'll be in the description, right? They'll be in a little link that goes to a little coffee site. If you want to support me in making more arrangements, that would be great, but you do not need to pay to get them, okay? So, I'm sorry I'm shaking the camera so much. Yeah, thanks for checking it out. See you later.